Hello, and welcome back to another episode of NFN.
Not fake news.
I'm Christopher Manning.
And I'm David Hollister. On today's special, a new wall was built in Berlin after disagreements between the Allies and Soviet Union came about.
Wait, why is today a special edition?
Well, Chris, today marks the 100th day without complete nuclear annihilation.
Whoa, didn't think we'd make it this far. I spent my entire life savings on a bomb shelter, but I'm sure laying against a wall will do just as good. Now let's go to Miss Lulu to tell you more background about this new Berlin Wall.
Hello, I'm Miss Lulu. And I'm KDB, and we will be telling you about the Berlin Wall and the conditions on the west side. After World War II ended, East and West Germany's living conditions were very different from each other. Living here in the West consisted of happiness and a growing economy, but in the East, it's nearly the opposite, which is why people living there wanted to flee. Because of the mass majority of Eastern Germany leaving, the Soviet government built a wall to prevent this movement. After the night of August 12, 1961, if one went to sleep in Eastern Germany, that is where they shall stay. No more commutes to the West for soccer games, family visits, operas, or even well-paying jobs. People who were lucky enough to be here on the West were living happy lives, as you can see.
Oh, we're on? Oh. Here on the eastern side of the Berlin Wall, things are far different as you can instantly see. Worse economy, bad living conditions, and many other things that make living on the eastern side a nightmare. Back home, these things...
This is communist Germany. Half this bread is mine.
I hate this side. I'm going back over to the west.
I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but I'm sure the newscasters were done saying what they were saying anyways.
Now we have someone here with us who experienced the restrictions the government made during that time.
Hello, Miss Collins. It's so great having you join us today. I have just a few questions for you.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So I heard that during the night of August 12, 1961, you and your husband had been separated by the wall?
Sadly, yes. He had gone out of town for a week on a business trip, and I unfortunately was unable to ever see him again. Even though the wall was torn down, we couldn't reconnect. I don't really know what happened to him.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Did your husband have a successful job?
Yes, that's why he was out of town. All the well-paying jobs were located in the West, but both of our families lived in the East. He worked from home most of the time and went to the West every 3 weeks to deliver all the work and get his paycheck.
And this time just happened over last August 12th?
Yes.
Goodness, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. On to the next question. Could you explain the wall to me?
Well, it was very, very long and was with cement and barbed wire and guards surrounding it. It started off as a fence, I think, and then evolved for about 28 years.
Whoa, that story is pretty emotional.
Yeah, well, anyways, thank you for tuning in to NFN.
Not fake news.
We'll see you next week with a new story and your beautiful host,
Christopher Manning.
and David Hollister.
Dude, there's an atom bomb. Everyone lay on the side of the wall.
It'll definitely work.